What's happening, everybody? This is Dan Goodman of the Business of Strength podcast. And every Friday, I do a recap of the things that have went well in business and things that are capturing my attention in business. And on Thursdays, I keep open office hours for people that are in our consulting group, the SYP program. And I had a call yesterday with a gentleman I've worked with for 6 months. And he disclosed to me yesterday, he's like, hey, man, I just, I wanted to say thank you. Like, I was able to take more in profit income in the month of July than I did in all of 2022 combined. And in the midst of the call, I was like, wow, that's awesome, man. But like, it's something that's still capturing my attention today. And just writing on a piece of paper, when you look back, it's like, wow, like this gym owner has done a tremendous amount in a very short period of time. And kudos to that person. And I'm not going to blow up his spot on the show because he's going to be a guest on the show. And I don't want to steal his thunder. But it's one of those things where like it's living proof. And it's always, in my mind, I've always said like, oh, well, that's going to take a year or 2 years or 4 years to achieve. And this person just came on, was like, hey, look, like I know what I know. I know what I don't know. I'm willing to learn, and was literally taking things, not everything, but taking things that he can employ in his business right away and just firing and just speed, call to call. Yep, that's done. I'm on to the next thing. And obviously we're going to go into some of the big reasons as to how that's been able to happen for him and his gym, and how it's benefited not only him, but the employees there and the members. But it's proof that, success does truly love speed. I know that's a Craig Ballantyne saying. I don't know if he made it up, but if you're on his newsletter, success does love speed. So instead of ingesting and learning more and seeing more and watching the next motivational reel or listening to even this podcast, if you take anything like, listen, if there's something screwed up on your price sheet, you need to change it today. Change it right now. Right? If there's a problem with your marketing or the messaging or whatever it is, like, and your emails suck, then like stay up late tonight and change it, fix it today. Get ahead of it. Right? And we always push things off, and this person hasn't, and it's changed the outcome of this person's life. And the nature of it is that anybody can do it. It's this person they're not like, the first gym owner ever walked the earth that's had some of these issues, but they were just willing to acknowledge it, address it, know that it was a problem, and then attack it head on. So without further ado, here are some of the 5 things that this person did in the last 6 months to make the same amount of money in 1 month of 23, $40,000 in July of 23, than they did in total personal income in 22, $40,000. Okay. The first thing, and this was difficult, but it was willing to address accountability within the company. This was an older company, a lot of people that showed up to work, that worked hard, that were the core values, but nobody knew how we were keeping score. Nobody knew how they themselves kept score of what a job well done looked like. So the very first thing that we attacked was accountability, first for what he did and his contribution to the business, and then to what everybody else needs to do. And then it was finding the right people to sit in those roles and really allowing them to own the role from start to finish so that they could feel like they can hang their hat on something in the business. So it was finding those metrics that we could gamify, giving somebody a clear role, and giving somebody key metrics to focus on daily, weekly, and monthly. And what gets measured gets improved upon. This person has been relentless with measuring those KPIs daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. And we've only worked together for 2 quarters so far. So far, so good. The second thing, and this is like, the first one was a huge organization piece for us Vince Gabriel helped us really tidy up our accountability chart, still does, still holds us accountable. That's number one. And number two, we had this issue as well, is once we grew a level of membership, it was like, okay, cool. Like we grew this level of membership. Now let's start focusing fully on upselling this membership. And by upselling, it was like smoothies, one-off camps, clothing. Clothing's a big one. And I want to, before I move forward, I want to say none of it's bad, right? None of it is bad, but it should absolutely take a massive backseat to selling and marketing the main thing, the main product in your business. And for us, I'm not saying this is not the podcast to say whether you should be doing boot camps, large group, small group, private training, sports performance. The point is that you need to be marketing the training product that makes you the most money. And that should be the tip of the spear for your marketing process, not t-shirt sales, not smoothie card sales, not vending machine sales, none of that shit. Right? Those are all ancillary things that will happen and take care of themselves if you have a healthy, sustaining, growing training business. Okay. So you have to market and sell the right products, which are training products and training services. And you have to give people a reason to do business with you. So we are constantly reminding people how the process works. Whether it's a free week, a free session, a free consult, a free gym tour, whatever you want it to be, you have to continuously remind people how this process works, how you get involved in the client lifecycle. And I know as a business owner and a marketer, it's like, oh, well, people know. It's like, no, they don't know. There's somebody brand new that falls onto your website, drives past your facility, walks in the front door, sees you on social media, hears from somebody at a barbecue for the very first time every single day, right? Every day somebody's finding out about you brand new that has no idea who you are, right? I was in a local Dunkin' Donuts beginning of the spring this year. And it's like 2 miles from Orangeburg gym location. We've been in this area since 2006, and there's two people in front of me talking about where they're going to bring their son, their two sons, I imagine they're in middle school, where they're going to bring their sons for sports performance. They rattled off 4 or 5 facilities and they didn't mention ours. And I was like, what the hell? Like, do they just not know about us? Do they think we suck? I don't know. I didn't stop them. Maybe it's a bad sales tactic, but you're talking like we're in one part of the Northern Valley. I was 2 miles away in the Pascack Valley. It's like, how are we not even in contention as part of the conversation? And it went back. It's like, at that time, it's like, hey, we need to kick up our volume of sports performance marketing, right? We need to give people a continuous reason to do business with us. We need to understand that, like, hey, there's new parents, there's new people moving to the community. In Old Tappan down the street, there's 1,000 new people moving to town, brand new residences being built, 1,000 brand new people moving to town. They have no idea who we are. And I want to make sure when they land on our website, when they land on our social media, it is clear as day on how to get access to the right products. Whereas back in the day, it was like, hey, download our free blog. Hey, buy a t-shirt. Hey, buy a million different things. We always joke, it looked like a diner menu, right? And if you've been to New Jersey, a diner menu, there's nothing that you can't get at a diner, right? But you need to make sure that you're narrowing the focus to truly the things that are making you the most money in your business. And for us at this point, it's small group training for athletes and adults. Small group training. Okay. The next thing that we adjusted for this person was pricing. was pricing for new clients, was pricing for current clients, was getting rid of the things that made absolutely no money. And I'll give credit where credit's due. A lot of times there is just extreme personal attachment to price and product. This person looked at it, knew it was screwed up, and said, yep, let's rip the Band-Aid off. And just made in one fell swoop within 30 days, changed all prices, internal, external, whole deal, one fell swoop, and voila. Like, what do you know? Making a shitload more money. And all the head trash associated with changing price was just that. It was just all in his head. And look, like, we got coached and mentored through a major price change in our business. We changed prices on literally everything that we sell in our business. And our churn rate was unaffected. Our attrition rate was unaffected. And I look at it, it's like, man, like, if we did that a year earlier, right? 5 years earlier, like, what, like, those unrealized gains that we'll never get back because you lose time, right? If you have a price issue, every month that you go by without addressing it is a massive problem, right? Because if you're a business that's growing and you're losing capacity and you don't want to grow to a bigger space, supply and demand, the biggest thing, you must change price. You must change price. And you look at the data on this and remove emotion. If you're closing like beyond 60% of anybody coming to train in coming for your initial consult, like, all right, maybe you're too cheap, right? If you're keeping people forever, right, and your attrition rate is like always below 5%, like, you're probably ready. Like, you're probably ready to change rates a little bit. And last but not least, like, if your usage percentage is exceeding 70%, like, where are people, like, you don't have room for people, right? So, like, the supply and demand thing, the market will tell you, raise the rate until your close rate starts dropping, and then try and improve the sales process. Or, your churn rate starts creeping up to 8%. It's like, all right, maybe we have a price issue. But if you don't, then keep driving the market to see what the market's willing to pay you. All right, you can always adjust it back if need be. But obviously, for the example that I'm using, it so far so good. Next is volume of marketing. Excuse me. Got to readjust the headphones. Hot in the office today. Volume of marketing. This person had this sample gym or example gym. Their marketing, right? They were doing a social media post every day, but that's kind of the extent of it, right? They weren't showing up in different avenues such as physical mail, email, text message, Google ads. They were doing Facebook and Instagram, but there was a variety of avenues that they were not using. And before, people were like, oh, well, yeah, it takes time. It takes time. It's like, but they were already putting out they were inputting data into Instagram that was getting reshared on Facebook. And then there was some ads cooking behind that. It's like, hey, why don't we just take that content and start splashing in other places, start posting it organically to Google, let's try with a weekly email to the roster here, email roster of the best performing social post, with an opportunity at the end of the email, like in the closure, like, hey, if you're not yet a member and you would like to be, here's how you do that, at the bottom of every email, the super signature. And the person just started doing that, taking what they've already done and putting it in more places to provide more inputs to increase volume, to increase reach. And they're doing it with a thought process of, how do I get eyes on the business that don't currently do business with us, external leads? How do I market internally to the current clients that I have to get them to ascend the service ladder? And how do I engage and excite current members to give referrals? And every week it goes through that lens to make sure that we're hitting all three critical avenues of marketing and the person hasn't missed. Okay. And last but not least is the sales process. Who's owning the sales, right? Who owns the sales? This person has three brick and mortar locations. So who in each location is actually owning the consult process and the follow-up process? If we're going to have somebody be a point person for each three locations, what are they doing and what's their responsibility to it? And how are you contributing as an owner? And how are we blocking time in everybody's day and really protecting that time to make sure that, okay, now we've ramped up this volume of marketing. How do we now ramp up and protect the time to match our marketing efforts with our sales efforts? And sales it's actually calling the leads, following up the leads, scheduling the leads, consulting with the leads, selling the actual leads, inputting their data, making sure that their first 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 90 days it's a choreographed process where they really feel the love when they become a member at your club. And when that became a standard operating procedure and really cleaned it up, like, great salespeople can create something out of nothing, right? You give a great salesperson a list of reactivations, you're going to make money. Or you give a great salesperson a great reason for members to refer friends, you're going to make money, right? You put on and execute an amazing consistency challenge, 6-week challenge, whatever it's going to be, and you hit your internal list with some direct response, like text messages from a sales process, like, hey, first name, have you signed up for XYZ challenge yet? ? Starts in 7 days. Like, do you have salespeople that are doing that in your gym? And if not, then it's a very easy thing to do to start getting people to buy more consistently. So top down. Now there's a lot of tactics behind these 5 categories, and these are just a quick overview. If you have any specific questions about these, you could hit us up at bos@varsityhousegym.com. Ask the question, ask me to go more in detail, and I will absolutely create a new show or schedule a call with you to go over the question that you've got. Happy to do it. We also, on September 28th and 29th in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, are going to be spending 2 full days at the Canopy going over all 5 of these processes in great detail and depth and workshop. And we're going to have some fun in between. We've got a rooftop party. We've got some catered dinners. And, Scottsdale in October or end of September, early October is absolutely beautiful. So if you need a reason to break out away from your gym and take a little vacation and learn some of the things that have helped this gym owner make more money in a month than he did all of 22, we will be going over these things in great detail then. So the link to register for that event will be in the show notes here. We've got some kick-ass sponsors for that as well. Elite FTS is our keynote sponsor. Power Athlete, Simmons Media. We've got some others that have to sign on the dotted line, but we've got some others that want to be part of it. We've got over 30 gym owners and fitness professionals that will be in attendance. It's going to be a blast. And as always, I hope that you found value in the show. And if you did, share it with your friends, give us a 5-star review, and have a great day, everybody. I'll see you later.